Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to take a look at this neat looking little, really cool RGB light on this little drone from Holy Stone. This is the HS180. As you can see on the box, it has really neat RGB LED patterns that you can change when you're flying this little drone. This is mostly going to be an indoor flyer, though I think you could fly this outdoors on a calm day, but I'm going to be flying it inside. Now, it uses one of these little peanut little controllers here. You've got your several different options here with your lights. You can do like a spinning in place, like a top, and I think a long press on this button. A short press does that, and a long press will do those big circles it does, which will be difficult to show that indoors. Otherwise, you have your auto takeoff, which at one click starts the motors. A second click will actually take off. You can also do, I think, both sticks down and in to unlock the props and then just give it throttle to take off. You have an on and off switch over here, and on top you got your 2 speed rates, and over here on the right is to do those 360 flips. They give you 3 batteries as well, which is really neat. You don't usually get that many of these batteries. These are 1S LiPos or 500 milliamp hour. I've got the third one right here. This already charged. It charges off a USB-C. And they do give you that here. You got a USB-C cable and some spare props and a prop removal tool. All right, guys, that covers everything. Let's get this up in the air here and show you guys how this little drone performs, so I'll be right back. All right, so I have it connected here, and I have it on the second RGB light. I really love the way this looks, but I can show you real quick. We can cycle through these and see there's that pattern, and then there's this kind of breathing green, and then like that rainbow one, and yellow with a blue like tracer that builds the blue as it goes around. Then you can turn it completely off. This is the default one here. It's not too bad, but I really like that one. I may switch it some around as we fly. There's also just a white light on the front. No camera on this little drone, which is perfect for me. I don't need to mess with the camera on this. And you have your power button there on the bottom. There's no position hold. There's no optical flow. Though there is, as you always see on these drones, there is altitude hold. So it will tend to keep its altitude. All right, I'm going to take off here from my table here. And it is a little confusing, the white in the front, and you do have that blue light here on the rear as well. Let's go ahead and just give it, do the auto takeoff. So let's give it one button, and then we'll give it a button again to take off. So white is the front, and that blue light is the rear. That's how you identify. This is the lowest rate. Pretty slow, but I don't need to trim it or nothing. You can see it's very stable. Pretty slow, y'all. Now let's go up to the second feed rate. I think there's just 2 speed rates. And now we can see a quicker yaw, and it's more sporty. This is a great little flyer for indoors. I did do a test flight yesterday. A little bit noisy. That's not that uncommon on these little toys. But this would make a great little first drone for a kid as a perfect Christmas present. Now, if you want to do those 360 flips, you want to do that relatively early in the flight, so you have sufficient battery power. Now, I don't want to bump into my vents here. You have to disregard my studios here to the right, as you guys can see, and then I have my storage area, which is a mess. So forgive me, this is not a living area back here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to move it to the left here so I'm away from the vent, because whenever you do a 360 flip, the drone's going to want to raise up, and then it flips. So you just click the button, and then the direction you want to flip with the right stick. And we'll do a rear. There we go. Now, one click on this button here, it should start spinning like a top. Let's do that. And I think if you just give it input, if you just give it any input of the right stick, it'll cancel. So blue, we know we're facing the rear now. Let's do that again. It just kind of like has a UFO look into a flying saucer. And then it did just kind of stop. So let's try that again. It may only do it for a certain amount of time. Let's move it over here. And let's try that again. How long will it go? It's still going. It does stop on this one. That's pretty neat. So if you have enough room, you don't have to worry about stopping it. Now, there is a long press on that button to do that big loops or circles, but I don't know if we're going to have enough room. We'll probably crash, but I'll briefly show that to you. And here it goes. It's going to go around the light. Yo! As I was going around there, it got stuck in the Velcro on one of my lights here, and that's what was keeping it from doing that. But yeah, it did that big long loops. Let's go ahead and take off again now. We'll do a manual takeoff. I think it was both sticks actually down and out, and we'll just go ahead and give it some throttle. Everything's just fine. Just got caught in that Velcro. It's pretty funny. Just had to pull it out of there. I like to fly in the second rate since I have experience. If you're a beginner, you might want to consider going with the lowest rate. If you're going to fly this outdoors, absolutely I'd want to be in a second rate, because even if it's very calm, a little brushed motor powered quadcopter like this is going to have struggle in the wind. So a very slight breeze, it could have trouble. So pretty neat little drone. Let's do another 360 flip. Now we can cycle through those lights. You can see that one's also pretty cool. I like that one as well. And that breathing green's okay. That one's also pretty neat. That one's okay. And then of course there's off. Turn it off, you might get a hair more flight time. But it's not going to be a lot. Yeah, I like that. That's my favorite. Now I reviewed a drone from I reviewed a drone in the past for Snaptan actually, and this is a Holy Stone, and it was very similar to this, but it was larger, but it had the same design, and it also had the same light pattern, which I like. So pretty much the exact same drone light pattern. I'm pretty sure that drone was a little bit larger than this one, but it could just be a bad memory. But very similar drone. I don't know, that one may have had a camera on it, I just don't remember. So this is a great way to really, whoa! One nice thing with the ducted fan kind of design is you bump stuff, you don't have to worry about damaging the props. It's got to hit it from the top or come up from the bottom like I did there, so I bumped into one of the Tupperware containers and no problem. These drones do, because they're fully manual, you're trying to, it's kind of, it's fully manual. I mean by that is there's no GPS or position hold. So whenever you are moving like this and I try to turn, it will drift a bit and it's easy to bonk into something. But that helps you learn how to fly. So if you're someone who flies, drones a lot and you live in a climate where it's not greatest weather, flying a drone like this indoors can help to hone your skills, keep you sharp, so whenever you go fly outdoors again, that the weather will cooperate. All right, we've got a flashing red light, and that of course means we are at low battery. So if I try to do a 360 flip now, it's not going to do it. It disables that. That's how all these drones do, because the battery doesn't have the power to do any more flips. Let's just bring it over here. Let's see if we can do an auto landing. This thing is so stable. This is a great little drone. So I'm just going to get it down closer here, then press the auto landing and then maneuver it, and there we go. And we just have it'll continue to flash to let you know that battery's low. Now you could charge up all 3 batteries and have quite a long flight time. Though on a drone like this with these little brushed motors, they can burn out over time. When they're really new, it's always a good idea that people used to have to break in these brushed motors. I don't know how important that is, but if you're going to run 3 packs in a row and it's really new like this, I would advise give it 5 minutes in between to let those motors cool down, because running a lot of packs this early, you could potentially burn out those little brushed motors just from too much heat. All right, guys, that wraps up the review here of the HS180 from Holy Stone. If you're interested in this, there will be a purchase link down in the video description to Amazon where you can pick this up. Also in the pinned comment. And this would make a great little Christmas present, and it should be relatively inexpensive. All right, guys, that wraps up the review. If you're new to the channel and you like content like this, please consider subscribing. While you're at it, click the bell. That way you're notified when I do upload new videos. And as always, guys, have a happy Christmas, and see you in the next video.